If your legs cramp at night, your body might be trying to save your life. Sounds dramatic? Maybe, but for thousands of seniors, that little pain in the calf wasn't just a muscle spasm. It was a sign, a whisper from the body that something deeper was off, a missing nutrient, a tired blood vessel, or even the start of nerve trouble. And while most people just rub it off and go back to bed, others have learned to listen. That's what separates those who stay active into their 80s from those who lose their strength way too soon. Welcome to the Senior Healthcare Podcast, where knowledge meets peace of mind. We are ready to dive into the truth about cramps, circulation, and how to turn your symptoms into solutions. If you're watching from home, go ahead and support this project by hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. That way, you won't miss the next episode, each one crafted with care to help you stay sharp, steady, and in control of your body. All right, let's begin the podcast.
You know that little twinge in your calf, maybe? Or that sudden squeeze you get in your foot late at night?
Familiar to many people, I think.
Right, and we often just brush them off, don't we? Think, oh, it's just part of getting older.
That's the common assumption, yes.
But what if those familiar muscle cramps, especially, say, after age 60, what if they weren't just a nuisance?
What if they meant something more?
Exactly. What if they were your body trying to tell you something really important? Today, we're going to take a careful look at why those cramps might be more than just pain. We'll unpack what your muscles might be whispering, long before other obvious signs appear.
Listening to those early signals.
Yes. Our mission here is to help you understand these quiet signals, connect the dots, and maybe explore some simple, gentle ways to respond.
And it's fascinating, isn't it, how our bodies are constantly communicating with us. These cramps, they really are like a silent signal.
Red flag, maybe?
Yeah, a little red flag waving, trying to get our attention. It's really about listening early, because sometimes, the smallest symptoms are the very first hint of something that could, significantly impact your future well-being down the line.
Okay, let's unpack this then, this idea. Imagine your muscles aren't just, aching, but whispering maybe. Something's not quite right here.
A subtle message.
It is. And it's a truth that too many of us just never really hear or maybe don't want to hear. Most folks, they shrug it off, right?
Worse.
Or worse, yeah. Pop a pain pill, try to go back to sleep. But ignoring cramps after 60? It's a bit like ignoring smoke coming from the kitchen, isn't it?
That's a good way to put it. Maybe it's nothing serious.
But maybe it's the start of a much bigger issue. You just don't know until you check.
Exactly.
Let's think about an example. Consider Edna, quite a spirited 74-year-old. Her cramps, they started really innocently, just in her toes.
Oh, okay. Easy to dismiss.
Totally. She blamed her sandals first. Thought, oh, it's just these new shoes. But then they started to creep up her legs at night, waking her up, cold sweat. She knew then something wasn't right.
That nighttime pattern is often a clue.
So she got it checked out.
Yeah.
And guess what? Low magnesium. But that was just the beginning, really.
So there was more to it.
Yeah. The cramps were actually the first sign her circulation wasn't doing so well. If she had ignored them longer, her doctor said, a stroke could have been next.
Wow. That really puts it into perspective.
It really does. It shows how these quiet muscle signals can sometimes speak louder, in a way, than even blood pressure numbers.
Absolutely. And if we think about the deeper connections within our bodies.
Yeah.
It's like this continuous conversation happening all the time.
Between what, exactly?
Between your nerves and your blood vessels. They're constantly talking to each other, sending signals back and forth. Now, when that conversation, let's call it, slows down, maybe just due to natural aging, or maybe poor circulation, or even not getting enough essential nutrients, the muscles often tighten up in response.
So the cramps are a reaction.
Precisely. It's not the body being overly dramatic. It's more like a plea for help, a way of signaling distress before something more serious really takes hold.
Okay, that makes sense.
So the next question is, what specific messages are these cramps often trying to deliver? What's the actual content of that whisper?
Right. What are they saying?
Well, many people just don't realize that cramping can directly point to some pretty serious deficiencies. Things like low vitamin D or vitamin B12, or even low potassium levels.
Things you wouldn't necessarily connect directly to a muscle cramp.
Exactly. And these aren't just isolated muscle issues either. These deficiencies can affect your brain function, your balance, which is crucial as we age, and even your sleep patterns.
So it's systemic.
It often is. So while it might just feel like a little twitch or a squeeze in your leg, there's often a larger imbalance brewing underneath the surface. That's really why paying attention to these early whiskers can make such a huge difference.
That makes perfect sense. So, okay, not all cramps are the same, right? Some are just, muscle fatigue after a long day gardening or something.
Simple overuse.
But when they show up night after night, uninvited, unexplained, there's usually something deeper going on. It's like you said, like that check engine light in your car.
Mm-hmm.
The pain is real, you feel it, but the true root cause could be something you'd never guess unless someone actually pointed it out.
It's quite remarkable how quietly certain deficiencies can impact us. Take vitamin D, for example.
Yeah.
Low levels can subtly weaken your muscles over time.
Weaken them? How?
Well, it affects muscle function, and it can also cause nerves to sort of misfire randomly, triggering those cramps. And here's a rather startling fact you might not know. A significant number of seniors right here in the U.S. are walking around deficient in vitamin D and are completely unaware of it.
Really? That many?
It's surprisingly common, especially in northern climates or for those who don't get much sun exposure.
Wow. Okay, so vitamin D. What else?
And then there's vitamin B12. This one is absolutely crucial for smooth nerve function. Think of it like insulation for your body's wiring. It helps those electrical signals travel properly.
Right.
When B12 levels drop too low, your legs might cramp, or they might burn, or you might get that pins and needles feeling.
Tingling. Yeah.
Exactly. And what's often overlooked here is that even if you eat a really perfect diet, your body's ability to absorb B12 can slow down significantly with age, especially after 65.
So even if you're eating B12-rich foods, you might not be getting enough.
Precisely. What worked for you in your younger years might simply not be sufficient now. Your absorption changes.
Okay. That's important to know.
And let's definitely not forget magnesium. Think of magnesium as kind of the off switch for your muscles.
The relaxation mineral.
That's a great way to put it. It helps muscles relax. It helps keep blood vessels open and flexible. And it even aids your heart in maintaining its proper rhythm.
It does a lot.
It really does. But things like certain medications, chronic stress, or just the natural aging process itself can silently drain your body's magnesium levels.
Drain them.
Yeah, deplete them over time. And this is why so many folks over 60 experience that sort of general tightness, maybe in their legs or back, without a clear explanation. It's not just in your head. It's often right there in your cells. And those cramps, they are your body trying its best to get your attention, indicating a real physical need.
Okay, so D, B12, magnesium.
Yep.
What about circulation? You mentioned that earlier.
Yes, poor circulation. That adds another really significant layer to this whole picture. It's a big factor.
How so?
Well, when blood struggles to reach your extremities, your hands, your feet, your lower legs, those tissues, especially the muscles, are literally crying out for oxygen and vital nutrients carried by the blood.
Starving them, in a way.
Exactly. That's often precisely when the cramping begins, typically in those areas furthest from the heart. It might be subtle at first, maybe just a slight discomfort or coldness.
Right.
But if it's ignored, if the underlying circulation issue isn't addressed, it can snowball. It can lead to numbness, persistent weakness, or even the beginnings of neuropathy.
Which is nerve damage.
Yes, essentially damage to the nerves that control movement and sensation. So the question really becomes, are we truly listening closely enough to these early, quieter signs before potentially irreversible damage is already done?
That's a powerful point about how deeply these deficiencies and circulation issues can impact us. It really makes me wonder, when your body is sending these signals, sometimes the gentlest answer isn't necessarily pills or creams, but maybe real food. The kind, I don't know, your grandmother might have cooked without even realizing she was healing more than just hunger pangs.
Food is medicine, essentially.
Yeah. Certain ingredients, they just have this innate power to relax tight muscles, maybe help restore blood flow, and just bring back some peace to your legs at night. It's about leveraging that incredible power right there on your plate.
It's truly amazing how simple changes to your diet can be so profoundly effective sometimes.
Yeah.
You don't always need complex interventions.
Like what kind of simple changes?
Well, take eggs, for instance. We think of them for breakfast, right?
Sure.
But they're packed with that B12 we just talked about, the very vitamin your nerves crave for optimal function. Just one egg a day can quietly help repair what maybe stress and age are trying to break down, really supporting your nerve health.
Just one egg. Simple enough.
Very simple. And if you maybe toss in some leafy greens alongside it, like spinach or Swiss chard,
Right.
or even just snack on a handful of pumpkin seeds later, you're adding vital magnesium back into your system without needing to step foot in a pharmacy. These are small, easy shifts that can bring pretty significant relief to those tight, uncomfortable muscles.
Greens and seeds for magnesium. Got it.
Then there's salmon, especially wild salmon, if you can find it and it fits your budget.
Why wild?
It tends to have a better fatty acid profile. It's rich in vitamin D, which we know is often low, and also those beneficial omega-3 fats.
Ah, the good fats.
Exactly. They help reduce inflammation throughout the body, including in your muscles and blood vessels, and that translates directly to fewer spasms, potentially better overall circulation, and maybe even a heart that doesn't have to work quite so hard.
Makes sense.
And look, it's not about suddenly becoming a gourmet chef overnight.
No, thank goodness.
It's about simple swaps, right? Like choosing baked or grilled fish instead of fried. Little things like that.
Yeah.
Let nature do the rest of the work inside your body.
Simple swaps. I like that.
Think about Henry. He was a 79-year-old gentleman. He made just one simple switch in his routine.
What did he do?
He used to have a sandwich every night. He swapped that for a plate with some roasted vegetables, a simple boiled egg, and a few walnuts.
Okay, sounds healthy.
Within a single week, 1 week, the night cramps that had basically haunted him for months just stopped.
Wow. Without any new meds or anything?
His doctor hadn't changed a thing, but his dinner plate had changed. It really makes you consider, doesn't it? How often do we overlook the incredible power sitting right there in our own kitchens?
Yeah. Sometimes your fork really is stronger than any prescription.
It can be for certain issues.
That's such a compelling example with Henry, but it also brings us to a more serious point, doesn't it? Because sometimes the scariest health stories, they start very quietly.
They often do.
We've talked about how important it is to listen, because if these warnings, these whispers, if they go unheeded, well, the consequences can be profound. And look, these stories, they aren't meant to scare anyone listening.
No, not at all.
They're meant more to gently wake you up, perhaps, before your body has to force the lesson with something far more severe.
Absolutely. Take Lorraine, for instance. She's 72. She dismissed her nightly leg cramps for over a year. Just ignored them.
What does she think it was?
Oh, it's just part of aging, she'd say. You know, rubber calves, try to go back to bed, that common refrain.
Right.
But then one morning she just couldn't lift her foot properly, had trouble walking.
Oh, dear.
Her nerves, the body's electrical wiring, essentially, had slowly, quietly started to shut down from lack of circulation or nutrients, or both. Doctors diagnosed it as early-stage neuropathy.
Nerve damage again.
Yes. And by that point, it was really too late to fully reverse the damage. Just makes you ask yourself, doesn't it? What seemingly minor discomforts are we maybe rationalizing away, convinced they're just a normal part of getting older when maybe they're not?
It's a sobering thought.
Then there's Joseph. He was a retired mailman, always pretty active. He started noticing cramps climbing higher up his legs. First his feet, then his calves, then his thighs.
Progressing upwards.
Yes. But he ignored them. Kept walking. Kept pushing through the discomfort. Figured it was just sore muscles. Then one rainy morning, he just lost his balance suddenly and fell. Fell hard.
Oh, no.
Ended up in the ER. And the doctor there explained that his circulation had likely been compromised for months. The cramps were the sign. What should have been just a simple bruise from the fall turned into needing surgery because the healing was impaired.
All because the body had spoken.
Exactly. His body had spoken clearly with those cramps,
Yeah.
and he hadn't truly listened to those earlier, quieter signs.
Another tough story.
And one more, quickly. It's remarkable how a small signal can indicate a really critical need. There was Ruby, 81. She ignored her hand cramps.
Hands this time.
Yes, not just legs. They came and went, intermittent. Until one morning, she literally couldn't even hold her coffee mug. Her grip was gone.
What was that?
Turned out her potassium levels had dropped dangerously low. Potassium is vital for muscle contraction, including the heart.
And that caused the hand cramps.
It was the primary cause. And it was actually a simple fix, supplementing potassium, if it had been caught early. But instead, because it went on so long, she lost significant strength for months and faced a much longer recovery period.
Just from low potassium.
It's a stark reminder, isn't it? Sometimes the smallest signal is your body literally begging you to act now, not later, when the problems become much bigger and harder to manage.
Definitely.
And it's so crucial to understand that cramping isn't always an isolated symptom, just happening on its own. For some people, unfortunately, it's like a curtain rising on something potentially much bigger.
Like what?
like an increased risk of having a stroke, for example. Now, no one wants to hear that, of course.
Yeah, no.
But it's vital to understand these connections. Poor circulation and significant mineral loss, they affect more than just your leg muscle. They can fog the brain, they can weaken the heart muscle itself, they can slow your reflexes, increasing fall risk.
It's all connected.
It really is. And by the time these other signs become truly obvious, maybe significant memory issues or dizziness, the underlying damage may already be advancing, making effective intervention much more challenging.
Those stories, they really do highlight the urgency of listening to your body, don't they?
They do.
So, with all that in mind, the crucial question is, what can we actually do? It sounds a bit daunting.
It can seem that way, but there's good news.
Okay, good. Tell me the good news.
The good news is sometimes it's not about completely overhauling your whole life. You don't need drastic measures necessarily.
Right.
Often it's about shifting just a few tiny things, small habits. But these small shifts can create a really powerful positive ripple effect throughout your body.
Okay, so not grand changes, no expensive supplements necessarily needed right away.
Not always, no. Often it's just smart habits done consistently. Every single day. That's the key. Consistency.
Consistency. Okay, like what kind of smart habits?
Well, it's truly eye-opening how small, often overlooked habits can yield such big results. Let's take Marlene, 78 years old.
Okay, Marlene.
She simply started keeping a small glass of warm water by her bed, and she drank it first thing, right when she woke up in the morning, before coffee, before anything else.
Just warm water.
Just warm water. Within days, literally days, her regular calf cramps that used to wake her up, they stopped.
Just from water.
It wasn't magic. It was simply proper hydration, first thing in the morning, done consistently. It made a noticeable, almost immediate difference for her.
Amazing. So simple.
Then there's another subtle but potentially powerful fix, putting real, mineral-rich sea salt back on the table, in moderation, of course.
But wait, aren't we told to cut out salt?
Well, yes, many doctors advise cutting sodium, especially processed sodium, and that's good advice for many. But it turns out some people, particularly active seniors or those on certain medications, can actually go too far. Their electrolytes, those crucial minerals like sodium and potassium that help nerves and muscles talk to each other, can actually tank, become too low.
Ah, okay. So it's about balance. Exactly. Balance. For one woman, adding just a tiny pinch of quality sea salt back into her soups and eggs, it gave her electrolyte balance back. And the persistent tightness she felt in her thighs, it simply vanished.
Interesting. It's about finding what your body needs.
Precisely. Not always a blanket restriction, but finding that nuanced balance.
Okay. What else? Hydration, maybe salt?
Even something as seemingly minor as your posture plays a really significant role, how you sit.
Posture. How does that cause cramps?
Well, many people just don't realize that sitting for long periods, especially with your knees bent sharply, like maybe in a deep recliner, can severely restrict blood flow to the lower legs.
Compressing the vessels.
Yes. Think about Gerald, 82. He swapped his old favorite recliner for a more upright chair, one where he could keep his feet flat on the floor and his knees just slightly apart, not tightly bent.
Okay.
He also started doing some simple ankle stretches, just rotating his ankles gently, 3 times a day, nothing strenuous. The cramps that had reliably haunted him during his evening TV watching, gone within a week. Just from changing his chair and stretching his ankles.
Sometimes what feels comfortable, like sinking into a deep chair, can inadvertently hide dysfunction. A simple change in how you sit or position yourself can make a world of difference for circulation.
Good tip. Any others?
And finally, some people found significant relief simply by tweaking their eating timing, not just what they ate.
Timing? How does that work?
Well, instead of maybe reaching for sugary snacks in the evening, they started having things like a banana or a small handful of almonds.
Why those?
Because they naturally contain magnesium and potassium, those key minerals for muscle function, right before bed, giving their bodies what they actually needed at that time.
Ah, feeding the muscles before sleep.
Exactly. One small bowl, one new evening habit, and for several people it brought peace to nights that used to be filled with tossing, turning, rubbing legs, waking up in pain. These small intentional adjustments can dramatically impact your comfort and especially your sleep quality.
So, putting this all together, what does this all really mean for us, especially as we get older? You know, by the time most folks reach 70, maybe 75, they feel like they've heard every health cliche out there, right?
Stretch more, drink water, take your pills.
Exactly. But few are ever really told this, are they? That your body isn't just, inevitably breaking down. It's actually reaching out to you.
Communicating.
Yes. Those cramps, maybe that fatigue you feel, they're not just signs of weakness to be ignored or suppressed. They could actually be invitations. Invitations to rebuild, maybe slowly, wisely, from the inside out.
That's a wonderful way to frame it, moving from simply reacting to your symptoms, maybe with frustration,
Right.
to truly anticipating your body's needs. That's a powerful shift in perspective.
Right.
And it often starts just by watching for patterns.
Patterns, like when the cramps happen.
Exactly. Do your legs cramp mainly after long walks, suggesting fatigue or circulation? Or is it only at night in bed, pointing maybe towards minerals or hydration? Does it come with other sensations like tingling or cold feet? Or is it linked to poor sleep?
So playing detective with your own body.
In a way, yes. These aren't random occurrences. They're usually pieces of a puzzle. And once you begin noticing these patterns, something really transformative can happen. You stop just reacting to the discomfort after it hits, and you start proactively anticipating what your body might need to prevent it. Maybe it's more water today, or that banana tonight, or remembering those ankle stretches.
Being proactive instead of reactive.
Precisely. And when we connect this to the bigger picture of overall well-being, these small, consistent routines can truly do wonders. They don't have to be complicated.
Like the stretching or the foot soak you mentioned.
Exactly. Light stretching before bed, maybe a 5-minute foot soak with some Epsom salts, which are great because they contain magnesium that can be absorbed through the skin.
Oh, interesting.
Or even just taking a moment for some quiet, intentional breathing before you jump out of bed in the morning. Just calm the nervous system.
These sound nice, but are they really doing anything?
They are more than just luxuries. They're genuinely acts of repair for your body, both physical and neurological. Each one sends your nervous system a clear message. You're safe, you're supported, you're heard. And that consistent, gentle communication fosters a deeper sense of physical ease and well-being over time.
Communicating back to the body.
Yes. It brings us to a really crucial question about how we structure and live our daily lives, doesn't it? We find that seniors who make a conscious effort to eat at regular times, who prioritize sleep with real intention, making the bedroom dark and cool, having a wind-down routine, and who stay gently active throughout the day, not necessarily running marathons, but just moving regularly. They often report significantly fewer cramps, yes, but also fewer falls, and they just notice a brighter mood overall.
And it's not magic.
It's not due to some miracle cure-all pill. It's often because their bodies finally feel aligned with their natural rhythms. They feel supported by their daily habits. And that truly is the profound difference between merely surviving these later years and genuinely thriving after 60.
Thriving, not just surviving. I like that. So the real takeaway then, maybe the next time your body tenses up, that muscle grabs, instead of just dismissing it or getting frustrated, maybe pause.
Just take a breath.
Yeah, take a breath and maybe ask it gently. What are you trying to tell me right now? And maybe what can I offer back? Not out of fear, but more like in partnership with my own body.
Working together.
Yeah, that really feels like where the real healing and maybe a renewed sense of vitality truly begins.
Beautifully put. And perhaps a final thought to consider as we wrap up.
Please.
If our bodies are constantly sending us these subtle messages like the cramps we've discussed,
Right.
what other quiet whispers might we be missing in our daily lives? Are there other signals our bodies are sending that we're tuning out?
That's provocative.
And what small, intentional changes, maybe beyond just cramps, could unlock an even greater sense of ease and vitality for you, simply by paying closer attention? The journey of truly listening to your body, understanding its language, it's one of the most rewarding adventures you can possibly embark on, really, at any age.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode. To everyone who joined us here in the room, thank you for being part of this conversation. If you've ever felt your legs cramp at night and thought, it's just old age, we hope today gave you something new to consider. Sometimes your body's not breaking down. It's just begging to be heard. And often, the smallest changes in food, movement, or rhythm can make all the difference. Remember, everything we shared here is meant to inform and inspire. This podcast is not a substitute for medical treatment or professional advice. Always talk to your doctor if you're facing health concerns. If this episode helped you reflect or learn something new, please subscribe to the Senior Healthcare Podcast and turn on notifications. That way, you'll never miss a chance to take better care of the life you've worked so hard to build.
So here's our question to you. Have you been ignoring any little signs lately? What's one simple habit you're willing to try this week, not for the pain, but for the peace? Until next time, stay steady, stay curious, and stay kind to your body.